I'm Mikael, and I approve this message.
Again, it goes back to this allegiance to party lines no matter what. And I think that even though their lives have been degenerated by homelessness, by out-of-control pricing, by the border surge.
The country supports immigration.
By just the law and order problems. I mean, we have almost no law and order here. Even though all those things, there's a high percentage of people that vote Democrat.
The city's school system serves close to 900,000 meals a day. While the city still provides meals, secondary and alternative items are phased out, like chicken fingers and French fries.
As well as a pathway to citizenship for farm workers to put food on our tables.
Mayor Adams announced the cuts, the result of the city's spending on the migrant crisis.
The country supports immigration.
Over the past year and a half, over 170,000 migrants have come to New York City, requiring housing, food, education, and other services. The cause of the cuts is driving a wedge.
We dare you to guess what's on this plate. Give up. It's supposed to be a chicken cheesesteak sandwich that was served for lunch at a high school. Students across the country are posting images of what's on the menu at their schools in a new phenomenon called lunch shaming. Here's Les Trent.
How is that milk?
Cafeteria food has always been the butt of jokes, but this isn't funny.
Look at what they're giving us at lunch.
Students, disgusted by what they're being served, are taking their beef online.
Look at this. This is the main meal. It looks like puke and applesauce. Nasty.
In Paterson, New Jersey, parents are up in arms after images of moldy food and expired milk were shared online.
Why can't these politicians do a decrease of budget fund for their personal banking accounts? Why is it always the country that has to suffer? They're not taking away from themselves.
President Biden is blaming congressional Republicans for the record number of migrants crossing the border last month.
Congress needs to pass legislation this year to finally secure protection for dreamers. The young people only know America as their home.
House Republicans unwilling to free up funds without sweeping changes to immigration policies.
Republicans simply cannot vote for the bill in good conscience. And that is why I declared it dead on arrival.
And permanent protection for immigrants who are here on temporary protective status who came from countries beset by man-made and natural-made violence and disaster.
There was no place for them to go. The county ran out of money and had to close a shelter. Joining me now is Bill Wells. He's the mayor of El Cajon in San Diego County. Can you just spread it out for us? Spell it out, please. What happened, Your Honor?
Yeah, so normally we get about 300 drop-offs a day, and that's been pretty bad. But recently, the Border Patrol told us that we should expect 1,000 a day, and that's what's been happening. In the last 5 days, we've had 4,000 people that have come across, and that's flooding the streets. California is already the biggest place where homeless people live in the nation, so that's already strained our resources to capacity. I mean, really past capacity. And now you have this crisis with no money to help and no idea where these people are coming from or where they're going or what they're doing, and it's a humanitarian disaster.
Your Honor, are they literally just wandering around the street, sleeping on the street, sleeping on the beach, just wandering around on? Is that what's going on?
The country supports immigration.
Allegiance to party lines no matter what. There's a high percentage of people that vote Democrat no matter what. And I have Democrats coming up to me every day saying, I've never voted Republican in my life, but this has got to stop. We're finished. We're done. I'm voting for you.
Check out the truth. When I argued that we should freeze federal spending, I meant Social Security as well.
Oh.
I meant Medicare and Medicaid. I meant veterans benefits. I meant every single solitary thing in the government. And I not only tried it once, I tried it twice, I tried it a third time, and I tried it a fourth time.
Instead of making the wealthy pay their fair share, some Republicans want Medicare and Social Security to sunset. I'm not saying it's the majority.
You can say what you want, President Biden, but when Trump was in office, President Putin was not attacking Ukraine. Russia was not attacking Ukraine, nor was Israel attacking Gaza. Like Trump said, too, he says, all you have to do is be diplomatic and just talk to the presidents, right? Talk to them and you can work things out. It's be firm, but be diplomatic. There are more jobs since Biden's been in office because we just got out of a recession. We just got out of the coronavirus. So many people have lost their jobs. President Biden, the reason why there was so much turmoil or so much violence and everything going on during coronavirus was because of Black Lives Matter, because of the police unaliving so many black people. And it didn't just start during when President Trump was in office. This had been happening when you were first became senator back in 1971, even before then, Dr. Martin Luther King. That was in the 1963s when he passed away, right? This has been happening for 400 years with black people, and all of a sudden they just had enough, and it would just happen to be during President Trump's term, right? The reason why I'm addressing this is because I just heard this about President Biden's State of the Union, when he was bringing this stuff up. Trump was never even a politician back then, but you were back in 1971. When they've been 35 years ago or 45 years ago when they were the police was unaliving black people, right? But it just so happened to happen when Donald Trump for the first time becomes a politician, right? But you were a politician back then, right? Also, when it comes to Trump getting reelected and they stormed the Capitol, well, if he did have anything to do with that, then he was wrong for that. Yes, people, The Republicans did say that they did agree upon with the border policy at first, but in 2021 and 2022, they said that it's going to affect the overall American economy for the people. Keep in mind, the Democrats and the Republicans was going to get paid more money because more people are crossing the border and they're going to be paying more taxes because everything's taxed, food, everything, you know what I'm saying? But the Republicans said it was going to hurt the overall American people. The Democrats is like, we don't care. They said we will get more border security, but if they say that they're crossing for asylum, then they can cross. And there's so many people that are crossing that are saying that we're not crossing for asylum, we just crossing because of the poverty in our country, but we're going to claim asylum. And they're going to be let into the country, which is going to cause more, you know what I'm saying? If there's terrorists crossing, all they have to use is asylum. Oh, I'm an asylum seeker. There are more jobs since Biden's been in office because we just got out of a recession. We just got out of the coronavirus. So many people have lost their jobs. And then they were misplaced because the former president said, don't kick them out. Don't kick not one American soul out, right? And he gave everybody coronavirus checks and gave people stimulus checks and even business checks. You know, if you were a business owner, he gave them money, you know, for their businesses to help, you know, their economy and everything else. And then when Biden got in office, he gave them a certain amount of time to you know, get their stuff together. You know, you only got a few months to pay for a year's worth of not paying mortgage or rent because of the former president helped them out and kept them from, you know, danger. And yes, and then opened up the borders when a lot of these people ain't never been homeless before because they were misplaced and homeless, became homeless. And now they're on the street with their family. They listen to classical music and they never drank or even smoked drugs a day in their life. And they got so many degrees and accolades, but now they're homeless and they can't even, you know, they lost their jobs and everything else. And now here comes somebody trying to sell them some fentanyl for a couple of dollars, telling them that, you know, you can't do anything about the situation. This will help you. You know, it'll help your mind. And a lot of them lost their lives because of it. And then all of a sudden, you got the foreigners moving into their homes, you know, or they got they're showing that the foreigners, they could have helped the American people because they give them money, a lot of money for the foreigners for motels and hotels, 5-star hotels and stuff like that, places where famous people stay and all this other stuff. And they left the other people out in the cold, the American people. And, oh, we got to send money to Ukraine. Every time they say, well, help us. No, we got to send money to a different country or to a foreigner. And that's what they're talking about. People, yes, look at the statistics. You had more jobs available because look at what happened to the people. And then you got all these, you know, John talking about his husband, him and his husband just got a Lamborghini in like 10 nice homes because they're buying these homes that are, you know, put in foreclosure because people can afford them on pennies on the dollar. And they don't even have no kids themselves, but they're putting families with like 6-8 kids out on the street with a 95-year-old grandma and grandpa with a mom and dad. You know what I'm saying? The dad was supporting them all. And now they're all out on the streets. And now he's, you know, on drugs and everything because he didn't know what to do about the situation. He kept on fighting. He kept on going for a job, but he got eviction on his record. And then for a year's worth of mortgage or rent. And then now he's just to get a 1-bedroom apartment because inflation happened because of the Great Depression. They said that this was, the inflation was worse than the Great Depression since Biden's been in office. Since a 1-bedroom apartment costs as much as his house did for you know, all his whole family. It costs $10,000 just to get the first month's rent, the second month's rent, the down payment, and something else, right? It's so expensive and everything, and the Democrats is just like, oh, but praise us because there's been more jobs, but who caused that? Yes, I know people are mad at Trump because he stopped all wars, but he never got a Nobel Peace Prize. But the president that did bomb more countries than any other president got a Nobel Peace Prize. The old people used to say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but an old dog can trick you into thinking he is new and try to sell you some bullshit. I say dog shit. The Republicans are willing to change. They know they're getting paid more when more people cross the border, but they're still speaking up about the issue. That's the reason why we're choosing. A lot of us is choosing Republican. I used to choose Democrat. But I need you to understand, Democrats, if you want our vote, then make a change. Do it right now. President Biden, you're president right now. I don't care about what you're going to talk about, what you're going to do in the future. What are you going to do right now about the situation? Because you're still currently president. I'm not waiting for tomorrow. I want to see results today.
Excuse me, everyone, I have a brief announcement to make. Jesus was black, Ronald Reagan was the devil, and the government is lying about 9/11. Thank you for your time, and good night.
No! That can't be true! Ow!
Mm-hmm. You're having that dream where you made the white people riot, weren't you?
But I was telling the truth.
How many times have I told you you better not even dream about telling white folk the truth? You understand me? Shoot. Making white people riot. You better learn how to lie like me. I'm going to find me a white man to lie to him right now.